Do you want to know how to maintain healthy relationships with friends and family? I'm Nicholeen Peck, and I teach all over the world about parenting, good communication, how to build strong family bonds, child development, and education, all through the lens of the principles self-government. And in this video, we're talking about healthy relationships. In this video, we're going to talk about what makes a healthy relationship and what skills are needed to maintain relationships that are healthy with your friends and family. So what makes a healthy relationship with friends and family? People who have healthy relationships with their friends and families usually observe appropriate boundaries with each other. They know how to seek attention with the other person. They know how to be understood. They know to take time to understand the other person's point of view. When a person has a healthy relationship with another person, they think of that other person's well-being before they think of their own well-being. So they, in a way, put the other person first in their hearts. When you have a healthy relationship with another person, you will take the time needed to seek to understand that other person's point of view instead of just sharing your point of view all of the time. A good relationship requires a bit of sacrifice and understanding in order to make it so that that person knows that they matter to you. Oftentimes, we develop bad relationships with other people because we start over-processing on how we think instead of on how they might be thinking or feeling. When you're developing a good relationship, you want to take time to put yourself in the other person's shoes. Make sure that when they are having a hard time, instead of jumping to assumptions based on how you would normally process things, that you think to yourself, how do they process? What might they be thinking at the time? If you've already subscribed to this channel, then you'll know that I talk a lot about skills for self-government. So there are some important basic skills that you can use to help strengthen your relationships with other people. One of those skills is to be able to observe appropriate boundaries. So that means that you'll need the skill for accepting no answers and criticism. You're not always going to please the other person or have that other person doing things the way that you would want them. That means that you have to accept when things don't go your way sometimes. There are 4 steps to accepting a no answer that will help you remember to stop and observe boundaries within your relationships. Those 4 steps are: look at the person or the situation, keep a calm face, voice, and body, say, okay, that's a boundary, that's a line I don't cross over, or disagree appropriately with the person about it, and then drop the subject. So once you see a boundary there in your relationship, then make sure that you don't cross over that boundary line again. In your relationships, if you can observe appropriate boundaries, then that will establish a relationship of trust. If you're constantly crossing over boundaries, then the person who you are having the relationship with will feel like they aren't sure if they can fully trust you, and they might step back in the relationship. The next skill you want to develop to have a really great relationship with friends or family is good communication skills. In fact, communication makes or breaks relationships. I have a variety of different stewardships, and so I work with lots of different types of people, and I notice very quickly who communicates effectively and who does not. If your communication is always about yourself, then you will decrease your ability to bond with others. They won't understand where you're coming from as much, even though you are talking about yourself all the time. The ego will come into your conversations, your problem solving, and the people around you will start to feel like you're only self-motivated, and that means that you don't really have a relationship with anybody else. Good communication in relationships would be asking questions of other people, listening to other people, trying to seek to understand where they're coming from, and only offering your opinion in moderation. So that means that the conversation should not be dominated with your opinion or you standing on a soapbox about something. You also need to know how to just be productive in your communication with each other. If there are things that you have to accomplish, maybe you need to make a certain dinner or get certain chores accomplished, then you have to determine in your relationship with that family member or that friend or roommate how you are going to be productive as a team. So are you okay giving each other instructions and following through? Hopefully that can be the situation with you. Hopefully you have a communication habit of having like a family meeting or maybe a roommates meeting. Maybe even as friends you discuss deliberately with each other on a regular basis about things that matter. Maybe even set goals together. And then when you are at a time where things need to happen, people should understand that now is a good time to have that working relationship together. Probably one of the most important things for strengthening and maintaining good, healthy relationships is knowing how to maintain your calmness and your own personal self-regulation. If you become dysregulated a lot, people will not trust being with you. It will be difficult for your friends and family to do activities with you, to solve problems with you, to be productive with you when they're not sure how you are going to be as far as your own regulation in a certain circumstance. So if you have a tendency to get emotional, frustrated, agitated, anxious, and you can't rein that in, then that's going to become very heavy in the relationship. They'll feel dumped on. They'll feel like you're emotionally controlling the things that are going on in the relationship, and they'll start to want to distance themselves from you. Speaking of distance, it is okay in a relationship for there not to be talking sometimes, for people to have their own alone time. That's actually a healthy thing. You shouldn't need distance all the time, but you should be okay with giving somebody some personal space. Sometimes we push a little bit too hard to have a good relationship and we end up pushing people away. Trust that a relationship is healthy when you don't have to be talking every second of the day. And that when you do talk, that the other person will honor that talking and talk back to you. One thing about a relationship that you should know, and that is that it is one-sided. Many people think of a relationship as two-sided because you're having a relationship to another person, and so it's hard to have a relationship without another person there. But it is true that you control your entire feeling in the relationship with them, and they control their entire feeling in the relationship with you. So what that means is that I own the way that I think and feel about that other person, and that other person owns the way that they think and feel about me. So if there is a problem in the relationship, the very first thing you should do is ask yourself a question. What do I need to change about myself to improve this relationship? What have I possibly done to hurt this relationship? Don't start by pointing fingers or casting blame. Instead, start by looking inside. In fact, that's what self-government is all about. Analyzing yourself so that you can chart the best pathway forward, and then making sure that you continually analyze yourself along your journey so that you get the best outcomes. The definition of self-government is being able to determine the cause and effect of any given situation and possessing a knowledge of your own behaviors so that you can control them. So that means that you regularly examine yourself and your own behaviors. There's nothing more liberating than recognizing that you can make a difference in solving that relationship problem because you can change your mindset about that person. You can repent or recover from being offended or from taking things personally. You can decide to give them the benefit of the doubt that they're trying to be good. In the healthiest of relationships, people habitually give each other the benefit of the doubt. They aren't perfect to each other. They don't never make a mistake. They just recognize when somebody makes a mistake that that was a mistake. And they talk openly about it. They don't take things personally. They decide to have good, healthy communication instead. When you apply these skills and strategies, then you can have a healthy, supportive relationship. Then you can have a healthy relationship with all of your friends and family. If you've enjoyed this video, there's another video that will really help you in your relationships not to give in to frustration or some of your troubling behaviors. That video is called The Expectation Trap versus the Cycle for Success. Click on the link to that video next. I'll see you there.